So I hope you can see my screen. I believe you can. So I'm going to present to you a brief introduction on how you can access HPC infrastructure and our training opportunities. This presentation I have given in the past twice, and they're online through the CaSTORC website. And they're more, I provide more details on the application process, and I go through the application forms as well. And you can view them online. So people can access computational resources via the National Competence Center. They can also access European resources via the PRACE project and the EuroHPC project, which course of which will open soon, and I'll provide brief details on that later. I will also talk about the training opportunities that are offered by the National Competence Center, by CaSTORC, and other training events, training opportunities which are available throughout Europe. Now, in CaSTORC, through CaSTORC and through the Cyprus Institute, people can access resources on the national HPC system, which is called Cyclone. It is a hybrid system composed of 17 compute nodes and 16 GPU nodes. Each compute node consists of 40 cores, and each GPU node also has 40 cores, but it also has 4 NVIDIA GPUs. Each node has 96 gigabytes of memory and other specific details which will be presented in later talks as well. People can access the system through preparatory access and production access. Preparatory access is for testing purposes, and people can access this mode in a very simple method. The call for this access type is open. People can access the application form through our online system, the link of which is there. These types of projects are for a limited amount of computational time, for code scalability, for development purposes, development with support. This type of access, development of support will allow groups to have assistance from our high-level support team. So a member of our high-level support team will help them in their coding requirements. But before somebody submits such an application, it's best that they first contact us so that we can see that we can actually help them with what they need. The application procedure for this is simple. People just need to fill out a very simple form, and people get access to the system within a week or so. Our other access method is production access. We have 2 calls for this type of access each year. The previous call closed in January, and people will get access on the system in April. The next call will open sometime in the summertime, and you will receive an email about this. This type of access is, again, people will get access, will get accounts on Cyclone, and it's aimed for mature projects which require large amounts of computational resources. So we're talking about projects which require about 500,000 CPU hours or 500,000 GPU hours. No, 50,000 GPU hours, sorry. The procedure for this is that people apply. Applications are assessed both technically and scientifically to assess the scientific and innovation potential of the projects, and only the best projects which are reviewed with the high scores basically get access to the system. I have gone through these processes, both of preparatory access and production access, in previous presentations, in previous talks that I have given about these, and these will be linked. The previous talks will also be linked online via the webpage. As I said, these production access applications are based on scientific and innovation potential. So it's very important that people who apply for production access provide as much detail as possible and make sure that they treat it seriously, the application seriously, because it's similar to submitting a paper to a conference, in the sense that the applications will be judged scientifically by people who are working on the same field as what the application is making. Another type of resources that people can apply for are data resources, so storage resources. This is through the DICE project, which is European Open Science Cloud project. And through this project, people can apply to get access to some terabytes of data for the next, let's say, 2.5 years. It's best that people who are interested in these types of data resources come to us first, so that we can help them fill in the information that are required for such an application. Very few details are actually required, but we need to get this application right to ensure that groups that apply are eligible for these type of data resources. By the way, something I didn't mention, which is very important, is that these data resources and the computational resources from preparatory and production access are free. Okay, so eligible projects get these resources when they're accepted. Similar to production access that we have and preparatory access that we have through the National Competence Center, people can apply for preparatory and production access through PRACE. Preparatory access is very similar to our application method, but people will get access on bigger European machines. DECI access is similar to production access that is provided by the National Competence Center. But again, this access is given to bigger machines than what we have in Cyprus, than Cyclone. And project access, PRACE project access, is given to currently the biggest European systems. These are the 7 systems that are present in Germany, Switzerland, Spain, and France, and Italy. And people can gain access to them through PRACE, through project access calls. Now, as Professor Alexandru said, the EuroHPC project has acquired new systems, and calls will be released soon for access to these systems. These calls will be similar in some aspect to the PRACE project access calls, but they are slightly different in the sense that the frequency is different and the limits of the different calls is different. So what I'm displaying to you now is the different types of calls which haven't been finalized, but they need to be agreed on by EuroHPC, some minor details. So currently it's planned that the extreme scale calls of EuroHPC for EuroHPC systems will be once or twice a year, and the project size will be at least for 75 million CPU hours. There's other calls will be 3 or 4 times each year, which will be for between 20 to 75 million CPU hours. And there's also development access and benchmark access, which is similar to the preparatory access that I mentioned earlier, both the PRACE and the Competence Center ones. But there's also fast track access. That is aimed for projects which require immediate access to resources. So, for example, a project which needed to look into the COVID virus when it struck last year, in the early parts of last year. Some projects got access to PRACE resources within 2 weeks. So this fast track access is mainly aimed for emergency purposes. So again, these calls are still in discussion with EuroHPC. These are calls that PRACE suggested to EuroHPC, and the final details of these calls remain to be finalized until they can be fully published. Now, so that's with regards to the calls for access to resources, whether computational or data resources. CaSTORC will also be providing various training opportunities. We asked various people, both from industry and from academia and government, to fill out a survey in September. And through this, we were able to devise a training plan for the next 2 years. We had our training event, our beginner training event in February. It went quite well with 50, well, it was online, so if people were physically present, it would have been more efficient and better for everyone, for the participants in mostly. Currently, our future events are currently planned to take place online. Hopefully the situation with the pandemic will be resolved as soon as possible so that we can have physical events as soon as possible. The videos of the seminars, of the sessions that were given in the beginner training event, along with the slides, are currently online through the CaSTORC website. Our current event is the Industry Week that we're in now, in the first week of March. We have our next training event is the intermediate training event, which will take place in April. We also have a hackathon planned for May, an industry training event in June, and our advanced training event in September. Details of all of these events can be found on the CaSTORC website and through our meetup page. Further to our training events, we have a seminar series where we invite various scientists and also people from industry and other organizations to talk of their work, of their research with high performance computing. Our next seminar is tomorrow, where we have 3 speakers, basically 2 different talks. The first talk is from Dr. Chris Johnson, who is the head of who is leading the effort in the PRACE SHAPE program. The SHAPE program aims to help SMEs with starting off with HPC in the work process. And similarly, we have 2 speakers from NCSA, which is the National Supercomputing Center in the USA. And they will also be talking about how their center helps various companies with using HPC. We also have at the moment an expression of interest for development projects, both for industry and government and the academic research community. And people can apply to this scheme, and the selected projects will have people from the high-level support team helping them with their research projects. More details of these 2 expressions of interest will be given in the next 2 talks that will follow this one. In Europe, there's also many training opportunities. PRACE, for example, has about 100 various training events throughout the year. All of these are currently online, and you can follow the links there, the PRACE links to view what is available in the next few months and register for them. PRACE also has the Summer of HPC program, where it's a summer internship program for students, where they get to work on a computational project throughout the summer. In the past, this was physical, so various students from various countries would fly over to a computational center in a different country than where they are from and work on the project throughout the summertime. But now, last year and both this year, this will be held online. There's also various other projects where training events are listed and which offer training events. So this slide provides the various important links and the email addresses for people to view the details on how to access resources and our training events, and how to contact us for any support issues that they may have. So if anyone has any question, please raise your hands and I'll be able to answer them. If you can please unmute yourself, because at the moment I can't view who's asking a question. So I can't see any questions. So we're currently scheduled for a break. So let's have a 10-minute break and meet again in 10 minutes for the next talk, which is, it's by Jakob, who will present EuroHPC support opportunities to academia. So let's meet again in 10 minutes. Thank you very much.